Thank you, Danny. As with most evaluations, there is always some ethical issues that need to be considered. Our major issue here is the fact that we will be surveying minority groups. That means cultural differences, language differences, and we need to take all this into account and apply cultural sensitive approach and all the methods we are using so that they are so that they are culturally acceptable and they are sensitive to all these groups. The evaluation or the program also includes a group of youth. Ethical consideration with this group is the fact that they are minors, they are under the age of 18, and for all surveying or methods interviews, we need consent of their guardians or their parents. So these are our main ethical issues we came up with. I would like to talk about the timeline and budget right now. We decided that the evaluation will take place between June 1st, 2010 and June 30th, 2011, so it's roughly 13 months. You can see the 4 columns, they each represent roughly 1/4 of a year. So in the first 3 months, we will focus on development of measures, and we will also start reviewing records because, as my colleagues already mentioned, there will be lots of records, lots of data to be reviewed. In the second quarter, we will start with the focus group, interviews, and the community survey, and we will also continue with the records review and also start analyzing data which collected in the previous quarter. And we will continue with the survey, and at the end, we will review data that will help us to establish the pre- and post design. And we will, of course, write a final report, and we'll be disseminating the data we collected over the period of most of the year. On the right side of the slide, you can see also our budget. The daily rate, $1,000, means that the 4 members of the team work 8 hours per day. So that means 1 day for us in this case. You can see how many days we allocated for each of the activities, for each of the methods. And the total cost came to $146,000. This is our dissemination plan. I mentioned in the timeline that we will be disseminating throughout the year of the evaluation. We will be meeting with our steering committee to inform them about our progress, the data we collected, some challenges we encountered. And we will be doing this through video conferences, and we will be meeting monthly with them. That is because it will be hard to schedule these meetings because most of the stakeholders are busy people. They will be mostly spread out all over Canada. So this will be the easiest to schedule these meetings. And we will, of course, provide them with the final findings and conclusions that will be done via the final report that will be written. And that will happen in May in 2011. Another groups of stakeholders are the Canadian Heritage and the Vancouver Organizing Committee. They will be given the technical reports for each inquiry, the draft evaluation report, and the final reports. You can see the deadlines for that. And the other groups will be also informed about the final conclusions, the findings, and public will be informed via public press release. So we have just proposed our evaluation proposal for the program, and we recommend the evaluation to be conducted as a combination of process and outcome evaluation that will include all stakeholders and will be collecting data from various methods, as many methods as possible, and sources of information. The evaluation should be conducted as a nationwide, and it includes mostly the survey and the records review to include all cultural groups, all diverse groups of Canadian population, and also all geographical areas. We recommend to use the utilization-focused approach just to ensure that the data and the evaluation will be used by the stakeholders and be useful to all groups of stakeholders. And of course, we recommend an evaluation that will follow the ethical standards. And finally, I would like to say thank you to the University of Saskatchewan, the National Chapter of Canadian Evaluation Society, the Saskatchewan Chapter of Canadian Evaluation Society, the Shared Travel Grant, and our coach, Dr. Karen Lawson. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you very much for the presentation. So I am here representing VANOC, and I note that you've said that one of the objectives of the torch relay was to